Hello, we feel that we need to make this video, and it's requested of us to make a video to explain why we need funding. Well, we have a residential property in New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, at a certain address, and we have a problem with a neighbour, next door neighbour, who is mentally slow. His English is terrible, and he keeps trespassing on the property. We have no fence. We've asked former Housing New Zealand, now calling the order, if they can build a fence. No, it's not within their budget. The landlady seems to think that we're making up stories that the Indians next door are throwing rocks. Their kids are throwing rocks at the garden shed or the outside shed, or throwing their shoes on there. And the Indians we confronted next door, we own those children, think it's a joke. We've had neighbours at the back jumping the fence, or one in particular stealing items. One, the slower guy, pulling up the plants. He came to visit and he said something like, well, my sister said she talked to you and said that you said it's okay for him to come and rip up these taro plants, right? It's a Samoan delicacy or food that they eat over there, right? So we swapped taro plants for something else. A good deal, right? We grew them, and then he came over and he wanted to cut them. That's what we thought. Cut the leaves off. So he said, yeah, you can cut the leaves off, no problem, because we don't really use them. You know, people who say, oh, we'll come and teach you how to use it for meals or whatever, they never come back, right? They never got around to it. So these things grew huge. They sort of get in the way, they overgrow the garden, whatever, right? So he said, yeah, you can cut them. But then he starts pulling them up. He said, no. We said you can cut them. Okay? But he starts pulling them up. And then we find that he put them in the rubbish bin for the rubbish collection the next day, because the taro roots on the end of it weren't actually like round and, you know, how we usually find them in shops here. Because they've been in the ground too long, apparently. Yeah, so come out the next day and he's taken all the plants because we had some more growing. He's ripped them all up. And then, for some uncanny, unknown reason, put up a old bed barrier on the side fence by our garage. And he come back the next day because we had a pumpkin plant there, etc. It was dying, it's going yellow, it's dying, but the leaves were green, and there might be the chance that as it grows over the small fence, or around the small fence, it might grow some pumpkins. But the barrier had been thrown forward onto the grass, and he's leaned over the fence and ripped up that plant